Shuba duba die. This blessed country, oh land of beauty, I pray for thee. Some people have that wrong philosophy that politicians can save a country. They never try and do it spiritually. And now the system exploding on we. The country in a recession, a big change from the old time religion. Mankind rewriting history in a modern but a bad version. We living in our final days. Take a look and change your ways. For our beautiful country, going back to slavery is only a prayer for the land. Can't stop drug violence and crime. A prayer for the land. Yes, these are the signs of the end of time. A prayer for the land. The price of living, man, is so high. A prayer for the land, that even the rich like the poor cry. You say you're concerned and care. We country living in fear, but all are we born right here. So let's say a prayer, the Almighty Father will hear. And I see,
share the love, share the love.
Shuba duba die. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country. Moral standard gone way down the drain. Little children using rum, crack and cocaine. It seems like wicked-itions gone insane, and everyone playing the dirty game. Too much guns and drugs in the country, owned by Tom, Dick and Harry. But if you're wrong, you must pay for it, for the law, no one above it. Put an end to victimization, oppression and segregation. It's not a good thing for this country, so let's try and wipe it out totally with a prayer for the land. Of fire and brimstone go burn with it. A prayer for the land. Some say they're picking out who should get bail. A prayer for the land, and that's why the prisoners burn down the jail. A prayer for the land. One day it must prevail. Please don't let this country become an next Haiti. No peace, no unity. Bow down humbly. The Almighty will answer it. Oh yeah.
Share the love, share the love.
Shuba duba die. Oh God Almighty, show some mercy on this our country. They now call we terror Paradise Island. No longer a country where peace abound. Yes, I used to boast about my land of beauty, the freest nation with democracy. But now we are the capital for drug pushers and money launderers. Shame and scandal is on we, sink is tarnish universally. Some blame it on the politicians for the unstabilized conditions. We going from bad to worse. Our blessed country now cursed, but a prayer for the land will help us to live with other people. I pray for the land, for that's why the nation in big trouble. I pray for the land, united we stand, divided we fall. I pray for the land, citizens answer your duty call. Righteousness exalts the nation. The most I hate poor man depression. So I'm calling on everyone to take a stand. Take it, listen to my song. Did a bad over boy. Shuba duba die. What? This blessed country, oh land of beauty, I pray for thee.
Sound of the man King Craig, the mighty Craig there. I pray for the land, I pray for the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. I'm DJ Marisha, and I'm coming to you live and direct this evening from a remote location here in the city of Basseterre. Coming to you from the Smart Fit clothing store here by my cousin Gloria. Give me some feed to reach out to you folks locally, regionally, and internationally. And we're going to have a very lovely evening. I must say to you that Prime Minister Joe told me on Monday to inform my online viewers that he'll be stopping in this evening to have a chit chat with me. So I am just relating the message from the Honorable Prime Minister. Whether or not he make it, we'll figure that out when he pop up on screen. I also want to let you know that my good friend there, the King Sweeney, he joined me last week, which was a very positive conversation. However, I was unable to pull up his new track, which he is scheduled to join me this evening at some point. So I look forward to the King Sweeney popping on screen as well. I also want to thank Sister Marsha Henderson for popping in last week and having a very good conversation with the DJ. She lived up to the request of you, the general public, who requested her appearance here, and she did just that. Very good job, Sister Marsha Henderson. Well, before we get any further into the chat this evening, let me drop this clip and let you know what this program is all about.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and a candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishall, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishall. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right. That's the DJ Marisha platform here every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. live and lively here on Facebook. Following the program, we go to YouTube. And this evening, we're coming to you a bit early. As I said, I'm coming from the Smart Fit clothing store here on Central Street, right next to Skelec. Thanks to my cousin Gloria there, who are allowing me to have her data feed to bring you this broadcast. So going to drop a few clips here, my boy Carbo, Sister Carmen and folks, to let you guys know what is happening over there in Fountain Nevis. Don't forget it's Culturama season. So, you know, Carbo getting himself organized with his mango bread and thing over there. So let's take a quick listen to what Carbo have to offer you.
Cabo's, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treat. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabo's Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabo's Fungi and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663 9694. Then make your way over to Cabo's and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabo's, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over. You got the food all over.
You heard it, you got your food all over Nevis. You're coming from the man Cabo. Compliments of the folks there in the Fountain area. And remember, Cabo does delivery there on the island of Nevis and also here on the island of St. Kitts. So when you check with Cabo, let him know DJ Marisha sent you and you will get your delivery on time. Hot and tasty. Well, let's take a quick listen to what Sister Carmen have to tell you this evening.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that?
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there, you don't move your dial. DJ Marisha's coming here this evening, right here from the Smart Fit clothing store here on Central Street, right next to Skelec. Gloria is open. She's going to be open until around 9 p.m. this evening, so feel free to pop in. You can say hi to the DJ. You can say hi to Gloria. Check out what she have here and everything like that, because guess what? It's the best variety you're going to get on the island of St. Kitts when you come to Smart Fit. And folks, I know I normally kick off at 7, so we got a few minutes to play with. So let me say good evening to some of the folks online already. And we're going to get into jamming a few tracks, hang around for King Sweeney. And also we're going to be chit-chatting with Prime Minister Jude this evening. So I look forward to him dialing in before the show sign off this evening, as he promised. And let's have a conversation. Good evening to my brother there, brother Jeff Pemberton over there in the Nevis area. The man Mikey Slack, how are you doing? I hope all is well. How about the man there? The man Miko. How are you doing, brother Miko and team over there? I want to say good evening to a young man here at the store here, the brother Berry. He looked like he's looking for some girls. So if there's any girls out there looking for a boyfriend, Berry is available, huh? Just come to the store and ask for brother Berry. Brother Elvis William, good evening. Hope all is well with you, my brother King Freddy. Brother Elvis Marisha, Ericia Thomas, sorry. Dave Warner, brother George Nisbet somewhere around the world. There you my brother. Jeffrey Pemberton, welcome. Everson Harris, good evening. How is stuff over there in the Toronto area? Hope all is well with you guys. Sister Beverly Marisha, good evening. How are you doing? Sister Hazel Clarkson, good evening. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Natalie Carty there in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, my favorite cousin. How are you doing? How is Sister Caroline? Hope all is well on your end. Avril Lewis, how are you guys doing there in the Florida area? Welcome to the ride. Brother Ronald Hendrickson, how are you doing? How is things down on your end? Lord Kent, Brother Kent, the man Kent Gonzalez, how are you doing? How is Sister Debbie? Welcome to the ride. How about Janice Carter, Evelyn Morgan, Larry Wharton, how are you doing? How is things there in the UK? Hope all is well. Sandra Merritt, good evening, welcome. Jennifer Bratcher, how are you doing? I understand you was in the Boogie Down Bronx there, showing your last respect to Natalie last weekend. Hope you're doing well. Are you back in Florida? Or are you still over there in New York having fun? Ike and Ennis, about MSC, how are you doing? Hope all is well with you. Karen Christopher, welcome to the ride. Hope all is well. Celine Tobias, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride. Danny Richards. Mervyn Nigel Leader, how are you doing? Gloria, say good evening. How you doing, Doc? Hope all is well with you. Jamie Williams. Brother Romeo Paris, how you doing? Welcome, my brother. Sister Dorothy Allen there, my mascot. How you doing? Sister Gwyneth Marish, I hope all is well. How about Sister Ann Farrell Smith? Good evening, Sister Cora Bennett. Trevor Richards, welcome to the ride. You know, we just have to drop one or two track here before we get into the things then. You know, there's a song that caught my eyes here. I must have caught my ear over the Thursday morning following that semifinals in Nevis. There's a gentleman over on that end in Nevis. Drop a track there. And these guys really sure know how to create their music, you know. He said, the man got a man. I got to drop this track for my boy Thaddeus Deposwa, because only Thaddeus or Ivor Henry could break down this thing for me. They say the sheriff have a man. I don't know which sheriff, but I'm going to let my boy, Bad Boy Polo, present this track to you. Thanks to my boy, the brother Alvin Brown, for organizing things for me. And that end, want to touch my boy there, brother Django. Brother Denver, hope all is well. Hope you arrive to your destination safe. Again, condolences to you and the family and the passing of your daughter. I know the funeral should be tomorrow. You have not sent me any updated information, so I cannot present it. So if you're listening, if you can please send me the updates on your daughter's funeral so that I can, or you can just put it in the chat and I can read it from there as well. But I want to big up Sister Lynn as well. Good evening, Lynn. How are you doing? Hope all is well. My son, dear Jeffrey Marisha in the LA area. How are you doing? How is Sister Jazz? Hope all is well. My sister Esther in Tortola. How are you doing? How is the man Mokish? How is the kids? Hope all is well. My brother there, brother Carl Morris in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. How is Sister Valencia Morris? The man Avon Brown and Patsy Brown. My Ralph and crew. Hope all is well. Want to touch my folks over there in the Tobago area. My brother there, brother Victor Beard, how are you doing? Gloria Beard, Sister Melissa Beard, my missionary there, Deborah Wallace, the man Roger Wallace. This track is coming out of Nevis for Culturama 50. And this one is called, entitled, I must say, The Man Got a Man. Let's take a listen.
As part of Uncle Baker's weekend plan, he does take me for a lime up to Trinjaland. He introduced me to this fine young woman, so beautifully carved by the good Lord's hand. I stretched out to shake she hand. Then I asked she if she has a man. She tell me she ain't no lesbian. She man like vitamins and no iron. She man got a man. She man loves iron. She man take iron. Vitamins and iron. She man got a man. She man loves iron. She man take iron. Vitamins and iron. Hold on.
Man have a man.
No Baker have this friend named Sheriff Dick. A stud of a man who makes ballistas and bricks. People say that Dick is a real sweet handyman, with a nice honey tongue for any woman. We took Dick to Bamboland to see if he conquer gimmick. She loves her with dick. She man can't take it. He too wants to get brick. This ain't no gimmick. She loves her with dick. She man can't take it. He too wants to get dick. Bring the horns.
What a sheriff.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I find out who is this sweet woman man. He's a swing left, swing right politician. Never so amazed that the man full of charm. When I stretch out my hand, he tickled me palm. He seems like a flip-flop man. So I ask him, what's his plan? He tell me that he has a woman, but he also has an Iron Man. She man got a man. The man loves iron. No constipation from doses of iron. Oh come, she man got a man. She man loves iron. She man take iron. Vitamins and iron. Oh come.
So you go.
Whip, whip, whip. Oop. Uncle Baker.
Yes, that's the sound of the man, Badman Polo. Said the man got a man. The wife want to know about them vitamin and thing that he taking. Gotta talk to Dwyer about that. Got to check me boy Dwyer and get some information on that one there. Gotta get a commentary on that one, brother Dwyer. Which man have man? Which man have man? We got to see about that, brother Dwyer. As a matter of fact, we're gonna jump right into brother Dwyer's commentary for today. Gloria got some music there. Turn off your music, Gloria. So we're gonna drop this commentary. We're gonna drop this commentary for the man G.A. Dwyer Astafan right about now. Very serious commentary today, so that we can go straight into the stream of the conversation with the callers when they join me later. So let's take a listen to brother G.A. Dwyer Astafan.
Greetings. Last Wednesday, July the 17th, Dr. Timothy Harris held a PLP press conference. As I listened, I reflected on the fact that a troubled and desperate mind often reveals itself through a careless tongue. I want to look at some of the comments that he made. He started out with a vicious personal attack on Mr. Philip Martinez, the president of MSR, which is the company that made movies in both islands and bought the Ocean Terrace Inn to establish that property as its operational base here in the Federation. Let me be clear before I proceed any further. Mr. Martinez is quite capable of speaking for himself. Many of you have heard him in the media, and he has very able counsel both here and in the United States, where he resides and has investments and business. So he doesn't need me to speak for him. And I am speaking the facts as I know them, and I am expressing my opinion sincerely based on what I know. And I'm telling you these things in the hope that it may help to set the focus on public figures who are called upon to account for their time in office, especially those who, instead of acting responsibly, respond to questioning by trying to discredit people, by trying to distract, deceive, confuse, and mislead the public. And usually, the greater a person's effort to discredit and distract and deflect and deceive and confuse and mislead, the lesser is his or her confidence about things to come, whether those things come in the court of public opinion or in a court of law. So the blabber does little other than exposing the blabberer. Now, if Mr. Martinez was the bad man that Timothy Harris paints him out to be, why was Martinez asked in 2021, when Harris was the Prime Minister, to invest in Kitishan Hill and La Valley? Why did the Whitegate Corporation on the 16th of December 2021, while Timothy Harris was the Prime Minister, sign a memorandum of understanding for the development of Kitishan Hill and La Valley? Is this the same bad man to whom a communication was sent on the 21st of May 2022 from a high-level person? Let me be clear, not Dr. Harris, but from a high-level person begging for $400,000. Was Mr. Martinez a good man back then, but who turned suddenly, automatically, and miraculously, maybe devilishly, into being a bad man the minute the government changed in August of 2022? And if not then, the minute a RICO lawsuit was filed by Mr. Martinez. What happened to transform Martinez from a good man to a bad man? Have you read the RICO lawsuit? Maybe you should. But with his personal attack on Mr. Martinez, Dr. Harris did not finish putting his foot in his mouth. Either his foot was too small or his mouth was too big. So he went further. He said that MSR had been allocated 600 CBI units and had sold none. First, he should have told you that while he, Timothy Harris, and the cabinet which he led had granted 5,500 units to Galaxy for their jail project, the truth is that MSR was granted not 600 but 475 units by the Drew administration. Now 5,500 units for Galaxy for one project and 475 units for MSR for another project which cost about the same as the Galaxy project tells you something wrong went on. They could never, in the face of God, justify the granting of 5,500 units as they did. And you need to ask yourselves, why did Harris and his cabinet grant Galaxy 5,500 units? Harris should also have told you that while he granted Galaxy a price of $175,000 per investment, Galaxy was nevertheless allowed to sell below the legal minimum. In the meanwhile, MSR was granted 475 units to sell at a minimum of $250,000, a price which it could not and would not try to undercut. So from the start, MSR could not compete, and worse so, if Galaxy units were going for $80,000. Harris knows these things, and it is the very underpricing of which we speak that caused the Six Senses Hotel, the developers of that project, to abort it and go and build in Grenada. That hotel could have been operating now, providing enormous job and entrepreneurial opportunities to the people of St. Kitts. It could have been adding an very important and significant amount of money to the economy of this country. But it didn't operate. It didn't begin because it was not going to get itself involved in this fight to the bottom, this bargain basement industry that Timothy Harris oversaw and gave his blessings to. And it is because of its inability to compete that MSR said, no, We're not going to continue throwing good money after bad, and we're going to take remedial steps. And remember, as we speak of Galaxy, this is a company which one of Harris's colleagues said, and I quote, "We are happy to have Caribbean Galaxy as a good corporate citizen here." What Harris said in his press conference confirmed that he had known of the underpricing. And here is how he tried to talk his way around it, pushing his foot deeper into his mouth. He said words to the effect that once the government collected its fee, which was $50,000 per approved application, pretty much government was, and I'm paraphrasing him, was not concerned with what considerations passed between two private parties in a private transaction. This is the same nonsense that Lescan said to me some years ago. And I pulled him up on it and said, "You are the government, you are the regulator. How can you allow this?" There is so much wrong, reckless and irresponsible with Harris's comment. So much wrong with it that I don't know where to start. First of all, the applicable law at the time stated with absolute clarity that the applicant was to make an investment of $175,000 minimum, of which the government would get its 50. But Galaxy will now have to get the 100 and 125. They have their expenses, but they will turn out with a handsome profit. The law also laid down serious consequences for anybody making false statements or trying to defraud the process or to otherwise break the law. How could Timothy Harris, sworn under oath as a minister and the Prime Minister to protect the Constitution and observe the law of this land, how can he be allowed to walk away swinging his arms when as leader of this country he made a mockery of that oath to uphold the Constitution and the law and allow the underpricing to take place? In an arrangement with a developer, a responsible government, to make certain that the best interests of the people of this country was served, would have put a process in place to ensure, in accordance with prudent practices of governance, that the minimum amount set by law was paid by the applicants, that project costs and other numbers were correct and fair, that the money for the project was secured to ensure completion and delivery of the project for the people, would ensure that local work opportunities were maximized as is prescribed by the law, would ensure that quality control and progress of the project were carefully monitored, with government always having access to the funds which should have been but were not in escrow, so that if the developer were to screw up or run off or turn rogue, the government would have access to the funds to complete the project and perhaps to compensate itself. But none of those things happened. When you had decision makers who were people of intelligence running the country, you must ask yourselves, why did that happen? Or why were these steps not taken? How could Timothy, sane, sober, responsible, and sincere, boast in a press conference about his CBI being a platinum grant, but now falling to the bottom, when it is he who put the lodestone around its neck and it free fell to the bottom? He allowed the product to be mongrelized and turned into a bargain basement product. He turned his back on the law regarding minimum investments, and he turned his back on you. This was in more than one way, and sad to say, a jail for you. You were the victims, not the beneficiaries. And to be frank, based on their track record, I would be very surprised if Galaxy finished it. And how could he, in that same press conference, in good conscience say, and I quote, "Leaders must be prepared to lead by example." What kind of leadership and example was he providing when he made this arrangement with Galaxy? And the pain doesn't stop there, you know. A very wise and informed gentleman suggested to me last week that what really happened with these 5,500 CBI jail units granted by Harris to Galaxy was that Galaxy sold them off early, wholesale, to international agents and marketers, of course at a deeply discounted rate. And Galaxy cashed in and laughed all the way to the bank. And the agents and marketers out there retailed the units at whatever price they could get to make a decent profit and move on. Let me try to further assist on this point. It has been the international agents and marketers who have been controlling our CBI industry and that of the nearby islands. They drive down our prices, and no matter how low our prices go, they still get their nice commission. And the sad thing about this is that over the years, our leaders have allowed this to happen. None of these islands have needed or need to lower their prices. There's a market out there for quality. If our leaders in these islands had stuck together and had put in place a uniform and transparent system, if they had put their egos and other things aside and focused on making and implementing sustainable policies, our CBI programs in these islands would not have been in the trouble that they're in today. Poor leadership. So now with international agents and marketers holding these units for sale, Galaxy would not have to pay a commission to them. So Galaxy's costs would be significantly reduced. And from the $300 million or so, it would earn from wholesaling the 5,500 units. It could turn a profit of $200 million plus US money, vulgarizing, mongolizing, and desecrating the patrimony of the people of this country and turning our Lamborghini into a bicycle. Anyway you look at this thing, you, the people of this country, have been deprived of a glorious opportunity if the project had been done right, if the CBI had been run right. And now I'm not speaking just of the Harris administration, but of the Douglas administration before it. Had things been done right, billions of dollars would have come into our treasury for our people. And all of the high priority projects, all of the projects and steps needed to create the foundation for a successful and sustainable small island state would have been laid. But as the Chinese Galaxy workers, you remember a couple of years they went on strike. They even blocked the island road. They said, the money no day, thanks to Timothy Harris and his colleagues. And it is this jail project and the machinations surrounding it which have stuck in the craw of the United States, Canada, UK, and European Union and made things so difficult for us. All Harris and the others needed to do was the right thing, but they were unable or unwilling to do that. And now the wolf wants to be the shepherd again. After the slaughter that he left through Galaxy and its jail project and other things, the wolf wants to be shepherd again. I say no. And to every reasonable, self-respecting son, daughter, or resident of this land, I say, Timothy Harris's utterances in his last press conference must have now sealed his political fate, if it had not been already sealed. His mouth is now full of foot. Let him go off and chew on that. Thank you.
Yes, that is the commentary for Brother G. Dwyer Astafan for today, Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2024. And it looked like the King has been practicing all weekend to join me via Zoom, because I see a picture is up and I'm pretty sure there's a sound. So let me say good evening to the King Sweeney.
Pleasant good evening to you, my brother. How are you doing?
Man, I'm here just taking it easy, just observing the situation. I'm pretty sure you're hearing the things that is happening on that side. It is not a good sound, but we have to deal with it, huh?
Well, boy, we're dealing with the reality of life, And sometimes, when these things happen, it's really a test for us to see if we could come together as a people and actually address it as one. Because ultimately, all of us can be affected. You know, it goes beyond the party, it goes beyond the politics, it goes beyond who is in office at the moment. It's really a country in crisis.
Yeah.
And we as a people got to come together, as we would say, all hands to the plow, because we need to intervene at this point in time.
Definitely. As a matter of fact, when I spoke with the Prime Minister on Monday, he had some good news he wanted to come and share with the people this evening. But with what transpired, I got a message from him that he's going to be doing a national address. So I don't think he'll be joining me this evening. So we might have to adjust that format a bit. But, you know, when you listen to the chatter on the street, I'm going to go back to the debate that I've had with several individuals. And no matter how people take it, I will continue to say, until I see something different, until you, the citizens, prove him wrong, I am standing behind the National Security Advisor, Mr. Rollins, because this revenge killing, that is what it is. There might be something else outside there, but the scope that I'm saying, there's revenge killing taking place in our beloved Federation. And no matter how we try to pacify it, the reality is the reality. When we hear about people getting gunned down in the street or gunned down at their homes or wherever, nobody gonna just get up and gun down an innocent person without any reason. I am believe there's something behind these killings, Brother Sweeney. And we might not have the answer, you and I, but we have to be real about the situation.
Well, there may be revenge killing. There might be a variety of reasons why the killing is taking place. But the bottom line is that it's unacceptable. And the truth is, we got to be consistent in our message that we're sending to them. We got to leave no room for interpretation, for misinterpretation. And we got to say to them, look, the nation is against it. Whether you support PAM, PLP, Labour, we are all against crime. I think the discussion and the argument that we are having is not whether we're against crime, but how best to address it.
Correct.
And if we recognize that we got that common position, that none of us will support the crime and none of us will really be throwing fuel on the fire, then I think that's a good takeoff point. It's healthy to have a discussion. I mean, some may disagree with the approach of the current national advisor, but then again, at the end of the day, there's only one government in office at a time. And not that the government has total responsibility, because the government cannot have total responsibility for addressing the problem, but the government must lead the way. Lead the way, bring the partners together, appeal for national support, and make sure that everybody understands that at the end of the day, if we don't address the problem, each and every one of us going to be affected. Maybe directly because bullets don't have names on them. That's one. But it's going to impact the economy. It's going to impact the mood of the country. I mean, and if there's a fearful environment, then all of us going to suffer in the end. So, look, again, I say, and I tell you something, that was one of the reasons why when I decided to put pen to paper, because it has been a long, long time that I haven't done any writing in the Calypso. I recall that there was a point in time when the Calypsonians were more in the forefront as being the voice of the people. I mean, the days of Entertainer being strongly in there with agriculture, Controller, Ellie, and a number of us. And we pushed like heck when we were leading on to independence, getting our own nationhood and so on. And I decided that if I was going to make a contribution coming back into the Calypso arena with a song of some kind, I wanted to see if I could have some kind of impact on what I consider to be the major challenge confronting us at this time, which was one of crime. And that's where you find the song in itself was written so simple. I mean, it's ABC writing, simple. So hopefully that the message can get across to young people, but more so to the parents of young people. Because I honestly believe, I still believe strongly, that it's the parents, we the parents of the young people who have actually dropped the ball. I think our parents did a great job in terms of instilling certain things in us, certain values, and recognizing that every human being is worth the while. But I think we, our generation as parents, have really dropped the ball and have more or less created a generation which see things slightly differently. So if we, the older ones, could make some impact, even sound our voices in any way, but it must be a common message that crime will not be tolerated. And that's why I say I kept it simple. Put down the guns. Just put down the guns. Have fun, but put down the guns.
You know, Brother Sweeney, I have listened to many conversations, and I'm hearing to blame the parents, the parents, the parents. The honest truth is, we know that some of the parents of today, they might see their kid who don't have a job, might not even reach 15 as yet, come home with a brand new bicycle, 2 cell phones or whatever, where they don't ask where they get the money from. They don't chastise them. I got that. But I want to believe, whether it's here locally, regionally, or internationally, because I have seen parents, I have worked with kids, where the parents try their best, call me in to talk to their kids, and they cannot get through to them. They got a mind of their own. So it's a different day, a different era that I really cannot wholeheartedly blame the parents. Is the mindset of these kids, wherever they get it, whether it's from the television.
In fairness, in fairness, no one would fully blame parents for all the actions of the children. But it was interesting that the example that you brought up, whereby you say you were in situations where parents were teaching the right things to kids and the responses were differently. And my reaction to that would be, you see, the thing is, we started learning the lesson before we even recognized we were learning the lesson. In other words, before kindergarten. I think people like you, people like me, people go up, around our times to tell you that you do something wrong, is the nearest shoe coming behind you. You know what I mean? Your parents didn't hesitate to correct you. One may argue and say how they corrected you might have been a little severe, but the bottom line was that they corrected you. And you couldn't, the example you draw, you couldn't come home with a brand new watch and your parents not asking your head, where the heck that come from? You know what I mean? You can't come home, you got $500, $600, $700 in your pocket, and your parents not concerned about where it's coming from. I mean, did you pay a price for it? Did you make an arrangement? What did you do? So it's not a question of just reacting to the situation. No, it's a question of, before it happens, you know what I mean? Helping to mold the kids and helping to mold the younger ones. And I would concede that there are a lot more forces acting against us, because you got the internet, you got the television, you got greater exposure. It's easier to travel. It's easier for them to get access to weapons and things of that nature. So there are a variety of reasons. But I'm just saying that there's a part that we have to play as individuals, and we can begin at the stage of the parenting. The government has its role to play. The business has its role to play. The church has its role to play. I mean, it has to be a total societal approach to the problem, because it is a problem and it's a national problem.
You know, another thing is, Sweeney, and I sat down today and I tried to go through my mind about ways to deal with a lot of the situation. As you said last week, you was into the politics deep because you run for office on 2 occasions. Whether you were successful or not, it doesn't matter, right? But I don't know if you were listening to Dwyer commentary a while ago. But listening to these commentaries over the last couple of weeks from Dwyer, these are things I was preaching back in 2020, 2021, 2022. I was accused of being fake news, enemy of the state. What they call me? What they call those folks? Suicide bombers. They call me all kind of thing. They tell me leave the country, right? But today we have a change of government, and with this lawsuit, the MSR lawsuit, it's bringing out a lot of stuff. The question I want to ask really is, while we're talking about the kids and their behaviors, over the years, have you paid attention to some of the debates in Parliament by our quote unquote ministers of government, the way they carry themselves, the way they disrespect each other in there? And not only that, the criminal activities that is taking place with the corruption and nobody getting penalized for it, that these kids are paying attention?
The truth is, Parliament is a reflection of society. And you would expect Parliament to operate at a more satisfactory level, because a lot of the younger generation, and not just the younger generation, should be able to look at Parliament and take it as an example in terms of what should be acceptable. No, yes, our Parliament has really gone through a phase which we hope we could delete from our history, because it's not a good reflection on who we are. But the truth is, individuals in government, individuals in society, individuals all around, we have kind of cultivated a society whereby it's about whatever I want, I must get it now. If I can get it free, I look to get it free first and foremost. But if I can't get it free, I must get it. And there must be no sacrifice. I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not it costs a life. It doesn't matter whether or not it's simply taking it from here. We together as a people, I would say, particularly over the last 20, 25 years, we have cultivated that type of society. Politicians, yes, some of us, and I put myself in that category, we have thrown oil on the fire in terms of wanting to get into office. So there are some things that you do and some things that you make accessible to people to come and support you and things like that. And it adds to it. But at the end of the day, we are where we are. We are where we are now. And government probably got to take a decision and take some harsh decisions, because the primary responsibility of any government, whether it be PAM, Labour, whatever it may be, is to keep your country safe, to keep the people safe. And if people feel that they're not safe, then you have not only a societal problem, but you also have a political problem. And I think the government got to take the lead at this point in time, bring all the social partners together. And that includes the young people as well. That includes some of the guys who we believe are involved in crime. And let's see if we can. And the thing about it is that we don't have to look back far, because it was done recently. It was done recently. Granted that there are serious allegations of corruption and misuse of the program and other things, but there are some good things in it. And I think we need to come together as a society, look and see where the best practices were, whatever good ideas could be added to them, but we got to make an intervention. We just have to. We don't have a choice at this point in time.
You know, something, I know you did not mention it when you said it was tried recently. This Pay for Peace program that was in place, which I'm totally against, right? I can say to you that I can't recall the year, but I can recall Dr. Douglas was then in opposition when he said in Parliament that they are paying people not to kill. And the then Prime Minister, Harris, objected and asked the Speaker, Perkins, to ask Dr. Douglas to withdraw his statement. They deny the fact that there was any peace program, that they're paying people not to kill.
Let me not cut you off, DJ. DJ, let me not cut you off. Because you and I have had a lot of personal discussion one-on-one on this. We disagree on a lot of things with respect to that specific program. So it might be more beneficial at this time, instead of we maybe hearing our differences, because we see it differently.
I am going to play a clip. That is why I'm going down the road for you to listen to. I want you to hear the clip. I'm going down that road. I am saying...
No, I'm not disputing that such accusations were made, but on the other hand, one could say the data and the statistics show that it worked. But my point at this point in time, I don't think it really advanced where we are if you and I were to query
this clip will advance, because what I'm playing here, like I said, we allow politicians to, as you said earlier, when campaigning, to campaign and to govern is two different things. And when campaigning, I'm saying that it was a denial about this Pay for Peace program. As a matter of fact, when Timothy fired 6 and there was campaign in 21-22, some of the members of that team Unity were saying they don't know nothing about the peace. Premier Brantley said it. Grant said it. And I'm not going to run away from the fact that though they did not know about this peace, who was in the yard and was not at the table during the campaign of 2022. Take a listen to this clip and we're going to move on to the song.
Before you do it, DJ,
I must play this clip.
You could play the clip, but I'm trying to keep us positive, because one could look back and say before that the Prime Minister saying he not going to take any responsibility. I don't want us to get into that.
If you don't know where you're coming from, King, you do not know where you're going.
And how far back you go back to know where you're coming from? I'm
going to go back just a few months. Take a listen to this clip.
One might want you to go back earlier.
No problem. The comment thread is there. I go back as far as you want me to go. My computer is working this evening.
But you're missing my point.
I got your point. I got your point. I want to get this message across, because Premier Brantley, who is the leader of the opposition, he's the leader of the federal opposition.
It's your choice. Look, at the end of the day, it's your choice what you clip.
Correct. So if you just stand by and listen to this clip.
This is why we have said to the people of Nevis that after the 5th of August, after Freedom Day, Nevis must have its own peace program, its own STEP program, its own PAP program, its own social programs, and we have somebody in Nevis who has demonstrated the capacity, the love of people who can handle those programs, and that person is the Honorable Eric Evelyn.
I played that clip for this, really. Like I'm saying, we campaign and we elect politicians to run a country and to keep us safe, right? During the campaign, we hear all of this rhetoric. They boost up the people. They promise them money. They promise all kind of thing. And when time comes to manage, you all might not want to hear it, so we're going to always have a little debate on it. Because politicians are getting increase in their salary, while the poor man and the ground are getting nothing,
Before you go in that direction, because nothing that Mark just said was wrong. He was absolutely on point. And this is where I'm trying to see if we could avoid getting the cross on the political level. Because, I mean, look, the peace program, one may have criticisms about how it was managed, and I do. One may even think there was excess corruption. But at the end of the day, statistics show they don't lie. Numbers don't lie. There was a drastic reduction in terms of the crimes committed in the country. So, look, you and I could spend the time and argue about that, or we could look at where we are and where we're going forward. And that's what I'm trying to save that type, because you and I have had a lot of discussion on it. Okay, we know our views on it, and our views are guided by our political positions, and let's respect that.
With me, common sense. With me, common
Well,
sense.
yeah, but common sense depends on who is looking at it.
Because Sweeney, before I knew about this peace program, is a police officer that approached me and asked me, Mr. Marisha, do you think this is right? That criminals are getting pay not to commit crime. And when we arrest them, they make a phone call on the back on the street and they're throwing it in our face that, listen, I am not working and I'm making more than you. These are what this peace program was doing to people.
And if that was so, and I'm not disputing that it might not be true, because I said there were deficiencies in the program. If that was so, that's something that could be cut out of it. But if you tell me that that peace program had nothing beneficial in it, then you're blinded to the situation.
Criminals should not be paid not to commit crime, while you got hard-working people out there need the help. That is my position.
The bottom line was that the crime went down and virtually stopped. And what we needed to do, and this is why I'm trying to avoid
get rid of the criminals, them. That's what we need to do. Not pay them not to commit crime. Get rid of them. Fine. That's what we need to do. I was
talking to one guy recently, and he said, "Oh, just let him kill themselves." But that's not the answer. It's not the answer. We got to be creative. You've got to be creative. And whether you like the peace program or not, it was a creative intervention. I would argue that it was abuse and corruption got into it and all the rest of it. Granted, but did it achieve the objective? The objective was to stop the crime. And the crime went down dramatically.
And,
so
and the facts are, Sweeney, there are statements made by police officers. There was a commentary by Dwyer Waits, kids in school, listening to this peace nonsense as saying, we don't need to learn any lesson, we don't need to go any place because we're going to make money as a criminal.
You're going to always, the wrong message was sent. You have disadvantages of anything you do. What I'm saying, when you're looking at a national and an overall strategy, you got to look at what were the good things in it. Let's keep it. What were the bad things in it?
It was not good in it. I understand, because somebody sent me a list of some 1,800 names. I know everybody on that list was not hardcore criminals.
You can get into and continue the argument, but that's not.
Was not hardcore criminal. I am saying to you, Sweeney, target the criminals and get rid of them, not pay them. That is my position. Let's go back to the music.
Let's go back to the music. Yeah, but you know what I would say to you? I would simply say to you, government must take the lead.
Yes.
And there's only one government at a time.
Correct. And guess what? This is why we're here talking, because they have to listen. Whether they do it or not. Whether they do it or not. We, the citizens, must have the conversation. We must have the conversation. I think
you're missing the point. You're missing the point. We are having a discussion to see if we could add something to the country addressing the problem. We could spend
who is the problem? Years. Who is the problem? Sweeney and Marisha or the criminals?
No, not who. The problem is the crime.
And who is committing the crime?
Our people.
Who is our people?
Come on.
The criminals. Their definition is criminals. Identify them and deal with them. Identify them and deal with the root of the problem. That's all it is.
And deal with how?
How?
Yeah. When you say deal with, what do you mean when you say deal with?
You're a professor. What we do with criminals? We don't put them away?
Look.
There's not a process to deal with criminals.
If you could pick up all the people that you think were criminals and put them away and think that you're just the problem,
that will not be the only way to do it, Sweeney. You know that cannot be the only way. It got to be a holistic.
That's what I'm telling you.
Holistic thing.
That should be our discussion. What our thoughts are, what ideas we have.
Our thoughts are we need to put a stop to this. That is okay for people to just gun down people no matter where they are because they have a difference of opinion.
And there's no disagreement with us on that. I think most people would take that position. The discussion is how. The discussion is not what you want to do, not the objective. All of us are clear.
My hand is up for going back to capital punishment. You kill somebody, The Bible says eye for an eye.
I
Let's
have
go-
no disagreement. I
Let's
have no
go back there.
disagreement with that.
You identify
no
that someone killed someone, you take their life as well.
I have no disagreement with that, except that that is after the fact.
Well, guess what? They won't be around to commit another one.
Well, you could look at it that way. You could take the route to Singapore. You look, there are a lot of different avenues you could take. You could go Singapore way, you could go Team Unity way, you could come up with a new way, you could come up with a lot, or you could try and pick the best.
We are
pieces.
a small community, we are a small society. There is no reason why we cannot get a handle on this thing. The people that are committing the crime, wipe them out. Put them in where they're supposed to be. That's my position.
Well, I have no argument with that.
This is coming unbearable now. You're gonna tell me, I was actually over by my boy Marshall's last night having a drink when I heard this sad news.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even make sense of it until later on today, when I really understand who the person really was, whatever it is. Sweeney, I remember one evening I was down by the shoreline. This guy standing up by a bar, have on the whitest pair of sneakers. And my foot brushed on his sneakers by accident. The guy wanted to kill me over his sneakers, you know?
Yeah.
No matter how much you say sorry, they don't want to hear it.
No,
It's a big argument.
I understand that. Again, DJ, I say what our discussion is, and we need to have a lot more of it in the country now. What do we think is the best way of addressing the problem?
I just said to you a while ago, if we have our politicians them in office who supposed to be making the laws, breaking the same laws and violating at such a higher level, what are they going to do about these little minor stuff? This is minor to the corruption.
So then you might got to sweep out
Sweep
everybody
them out.
office.
That's why I say let's change the change. But
everybody, because all of them are accused, and who gonna make the judgment?
I want to play a song. You don't want me to play my song. I want to change the change. I want to change all them who's going up.
Well, my boy, hey, look, that's the way life should be. If we're dissatisfied with the change that we change, you make another change, and then you're ready to change the change.
We got to stay focused.
But in the meantime, because we're a democratic society where elections comes in every 5 years or so.
Not anymore. Not anymore, Sweeney. We took care of that.
Let me rephrase that. Where elections are constitutionally due every 5 years or so.
I like that word.
We got to deal with the situation as it is now. We got to deal with the situation, and the government, I'm sure Dr. Joe is trying to think on how best to lead in this situation, how best to bring all the partners together, see what ideas you can get. There are going to be disagreements, but everybody got a common objective to reduce or get rid of crime.
Sweeney, ain't no question that Dr. Joe and his new administration is doing their best to deal with the current situation. I am saying, I have said it privately, I have said it publicly, and I will repeat it again. Listening to these numbers on the street with the CBI situation, these criminals that appear to be running our government, past, present, or whatever, they are committing higher crime than these minor things.
And that's the point I was making when you say, okay, the people who are committing crime, we just get rid of them. Because I was asking you where you're going to start.
We got to start wherever it is. We got to start someplace.
See, if you just consider the crime with the fellow who take the gun and say, "Pow, yeah," it's easy to identify.
No, that is easy. But Sweeney, in the last 20 months or 20 plus months, the new prime minister and his age have identified many criminal activities that took place. We identify the hush puppy matter that is still not settled in our beloved federation. Even the hush puppy is sitting in a prison in North America. Is not settled in our beloved federation.
Just for clarity, when you say identified, has he taken them to the court and the court say, well, you're right? Or he just said, well, this is what I say?
The last thing I heard, Sweeney, is that there was some paperwork that was buried by the former administration that they found and submit the information to whoever the foreign agency that requested certain information.
Usually we hear the accusation with every government.
Right.
I mean,
we hear about the fake marriages, over 100 cases found, nothing to be done with that.
And that's easy to prove.
We heard about the missing money from the development bank. That I understand is in legal this courts, whatever the thing might be. But then again, this CBI stuff, Sweeney, this CBI thing did not start last week. This CBI thing started in 1984. As I said before, whatever went on under Pam, it went on steroids under Douglas, and I don't know what went on under Timothy. But look at where we are with it. It's a criminal enterprise. People took advantage of our citizenship, take advantage of the people money.
It sounds like you conveniently missed out this current one, because people feel that the current administration has taken it to a higher level too. That's within a couple.
I am saying the jury is out on that because I'm still observing.
We don't know. See, that's why I tell you,
the jury is out on that. But I'm talking about what we know.
The easiest thing to do is to accuse somebody until we could give the person a chance to defend themselves and a court of law say yes. Then it's just an accusation.
I understand all of that, but Sweden, I could also tell you, with this court, this kangaroo court we have in St. Kitts Nevis, and it's no different to North America, there are people who is guilty as hell, and by some technical whatever they get off. And people who are innocent end up in prison. We know the deal.
If we don't honor the system that we have, you end up in a system where the strongest survive and you get your own justice. We got to use what we have. We may not like it totally, but that is what we have. You can, the prime minister or the leader of the opposition can't just get up and accuse his opponent of anything and say, well, okay, because I accuse you of it, it's so.
But they do it all the time.
But it's dangerous.
But they do it all the time. Mark Brantley got up in Parliament and accused Douglas of some money going through the airport in England.
But yeah, but he didn't charge him of it.
But he was a foreign minister and he talked about it.
Fine, so that's why the prime minister could talk about it. But my point I'm saying is that if you got the facts and you got all the documentation, take it to the judiciary. And until you do so, it's just more speculation.
Partner, our little federation is in a very sad state, eh? Sad place. It pains me to know what we are dealing with, because I know while the little black boy out there in St. Paul's and up the village struggling to get $5 to buy a sucker, there are politicians who right up there busy in this corrupting and they're spending millions to save them. Okay, while our little citizens throughout the federation is struggling.
And I don't disagree with you.
And
I believe so.
I will continue to speak truth to power. Who don't like it tough? Mr. Hardy tell me, Marisha, the truth is what it is. Couple of months ago, there's a gentleman in New York, the name of Mr. Harley. He told me he mailed, this is a different conversation by the way, he mailed 2 letters the same time to St. Kitts. But the 2 letters arrived maybe like 2-3 months apart. And he wanted to know how it was that possible. But a couple of weeks ago, I heard they charged some post office individual for stealing mails.
So that might have been one possibility, or it might have been something here. Because I have had situations here where I post letters the same time and they arrive at the destination different time. There could be a variety of reasons.
Yes, but Sweeney, when they follow up and check in North America, they say this stuff already in St. Kitts.
And do you think that they would tell you differently?
No, I'm saying the system, they show you in the system. When I mail today, Sweeney, this is not like back in the 50s. Today, whether you mail a letter or you check your luggage in, they scan it. They could tell you exactly where it is at any given time.
Okay.
Right? So let's not be naive. The problem is that the criminal activities start from the head down. And we got the criminal activities in governments. Well, maybe it's around the globe, but I'm focusing on St. Kitts Nevis. So when I'm speaking and people say, Marisha, it don't happen in St. Kitts Nevis alone, I don't want to hear that. I am focusing on our little territory here that we need to improve. We are making too many excuses, and when you ignore the little things, they become big molds.
Look, there is no disagreement with what you say, okay? I think we got to strive to be better every day. Every day we got to try and improve on what we do. There could be a lot of faults in the system. Some people could be abusing the system, what we call corruption. We got to try and have less and less of it as we move forward. But it's a reality of life. it's a reality of life. We shouldn't condone it.
So the,
obviously.
so the qualification to be a politician is to go in and corrupt the place.
No. Remember, I started by telling you, and I'm not trying to defend them, but remember, I started by telling you the politicians are a reflection of society. When you select a politician, where does that politician come from? The community. So, whatever
they come from church, Sweeney. Very honest, nice individuals.
Not necessarily. You just said they're not nice. And
listen, what I'm saying. When I see some of these folks, and I could talk about my partner Timothy, because I'm a partner, eh? No matter you hear me talk about him. Timothy, the honest, nice gentleman that I know, is not the same Timothy that left office in 22.
Well, I've heard a lot of accusations and a lot of allegations about Timothy. I got my views about Timothy, you know, from a political standpoint. I got my views. But I'm saying, look, politics is a funny thing. And it's not enough simply to accuse him of anything. If you got the evidence, bring it forward. Put it in the court. It's the same thing Douglas was accused of so many things. The SIDF. I mean, that was like a personal thing. You heard all the accusations. You heard you had the evidence, but you didn't bring it forward. And if you fail to do that in my book, we got a problem.
Okay.
We got a problem.
And that trigger down to the streets where the criminals now figure that they could do whatever they got to do and beat the system. Remember our former president who just fake an assassination so he could stand up on Fifth Avenue and kill somebody.
Oh,
and nothing happened, you know.
Well, again, you know what? I might have my views on it, but Lord, I can't prove it because I'm waiting to hear information. What I would say is
I don't have to wait.
I'm a little bit shocked. Let me tell you what
I don't have to wait. I know what a bullet does to someone here, their body when they touch it.
That's exactly why I said I am waiting, because the first thing I would have expected to hear is, as a result of that, we had to put so many stitches and we had to do this, and that information is not forthcoming.
And plastic surgery and all this kind of thing. I ain't hear nothing.
Well,
I saw that movie before. Let me drop this track, Sweeney. I want to hear the change.
Okay.
The King Sweeney, changing the changing change.
Voices of anger, they cry throughout the land. Lonely you heard the cries, echoes of frustration. Man, the whole well-being of man is development to force you to understand and realize that the youths of this country want to raise themselves out of poverty. I say it was time we had to see the living standards for you and me. So change, I fight for a change. Hear me, and on election day, the country gave me a change. So if today the doctor is now premier, that's a change. First time the House Assembly argumenting there, that's a change. You see his Calypso that did the trick when Johnny turned and hit them the kick, so they change. I am full of change, congratulations change. Oh yes, petitions the change and we learn. Oh yes, election fever engulfed the whole nation since it's 1980, the pause in the Caribbean. This land of future intention, our direction remain in slavery and misery, to spend our lives in agony, would sink its post-Nevis secession, or discuss and find a solution that change. I prayed for a change, hear me, and with a collision, Nevis secession had to change. So if Minister of Trouble control the land, that's a change. Them say Nevis got all the money in the hand, that's a change. But that you promise we provident fund, and if years and years we ain't getting none, we got change. And we got that change. People will change. Oh yes, petitions will change. Tell them I say. Hear them campaigning. If we win the election, comrades, you're bound to see the nation independent. Members and friends, would you miss this chance again? School lunch will be given free. That's only salary. This nation needs men like you and me. We no must rule this country. Ministers must get one salary to help to build the economy. So change after 30 years, you must change. Oh yes, and now you start to see changes are changing. In Calypso, young school now sing freely. That's a change. When for politics, I so judges stop robbing me. That's a change. And if the Montami no premier die, so the nation could stop to mourn and cry, that's a change. And cry a change. And more change. Oh yes, it is just a change. And I gone. Your life, your life. Oh, your life.
Yeah, brother Sweeney, I just love that song. That's the Sweeney I love. That's the Sweeney I love, eh?
That's 44 years ago.
Like I said, that's the Sweeney I love. By the way, your boy Wussy say give you his regards. He's listening to you talking, so you could say good night to Wussy.
Who's that?
Brother Wussy, the national advisor.
That's my boy, and I have the highest respect for Wussy. I mean, look, hey, I never get the opportunity to actually have a serious conversation with him after the 1975 competition. That's how long it was I wanted to have a conversation with him, because it was a competition where Ellie was included, of course, and Wussy took over the reins because GIs was the host man. And I think he was fantastic. I mean, every Calypsonian who sang, we all said that he was more than fair to each and every one of us. And, you know, I really wanted to tell him thanks, and we never had the chance to discuss it. That's a long time ago. That's like 40-something years ago.
And the comments they're coming in, Sweeney. There's a comment coming in from the Virgin Islands. And this comment is coming from a former police commissioner of the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
He said, Mr. Marisha, you are correct in what you are saying. Paying criminals not to commit crime, then the government is neglecting their responsibility and the criminals are in control. That's all I'm trying to say.
And I wouldn't disagree with you.
Right?
I wouldn't disagree with that.
But that's what we're debating for the last hour.
No, that's not the disagreement. Our disagreement was whether the conclusion that you made was accurate or not. Because you would see it as paying criminals. They had a whole different explanation. So
No,
that's
no, you see the thing about it is Wussy. I say Wussy. Sorry, brother Wussy, not you. Brother Sweeney. There's a young lady by the name of Cynthia Hall got me caught up in politics. You remember when they had the boundary change and they took Douglas to task and end up all the way to the Privy Council?
Yeah.
That was my first really entrance to politics, and Cynthia helped present me with a copy of the St. Kitts Nevis Constitution. And I started following the case in Parliament and everything. And I basically call everything down the middle like it is. And then I took a break and welcomed the change in 2015. Because I 20 years of Douglas, let's see what the new team gonna bring. And what the new team brought to us. We're experiencing it now.
I thought the new team did a great job. I thought they were doing a great job, frankly. I mean, I sense that from most people that I speak to, not just Unity supporters, that they were doing a good job.
Up till when?
Well, up until I would say 2021. The problem is when you begin to get a lot of the individual differences and can come together as a team to adjust projects. But I thought they did a good job.
Sweeney, I'm going to put it to you. The only good job that the Team Unity administration did for you guys is get rid of Douglas. Because from day one, based on the campaign, let me finish my thought, man. You could answer me. Based on the campaign of 2022, and I can go back and pull up my thing from the first first Prime Minister. He made it clear, the Honorable Sir Alphonse Simmons. He made it clear that he knew Timothy was a criminal. He knew Timothy was a crook, but they had to get rid of Douglas. That's the only reason why he support. I got the tapes,
Look, Marisha, people are going to have different opinions of different individuals, okay? Timothy was never, ever of the same thinking as we who supported Pam. Politics, there was a common need and a common desire, and it's like I told my leader, coalitions are formed for one reason, specific reason. That's why coalitions don't last. Coalitions are formed for one purpose. What was the purpose of this one? To get rid of Douglas.
And not to take care of the country.
Wait, no. In so doing, they took care of the country. I think, look, the idea of...
Where we are now, Sweeney? Where we are now? Where the country is today?
Look, every government that is in has to take responsibility for what happens under its watch. It's time we stop blaming Team Unity or blaming the Douglas regime or blaming the Kennedy Simmons regime. The government that is in right now has to take responsibility for what's happening under its watch.
So we're going to blame the current administration for all that happened under Douglas, all that happened under Team Unity, all that happened under PAM. That's what you're trying to tell me.
No, I said from the date when they took over office, that's when you get the blame and you get the praise.
Yeah, but Sweeney, the point I am making is from the day they took office, we now find out all of the corruption that was taking place prior. So we have to deal with it.
Look, the same way the government would have gone and opened something that Team Unity was doing or take a benefit from a particular program, once the government takes office, the government takes responsibility. And you're going to get the good, you're going to get the bad, and you're going to get the ugly. If you find that there was bad things which were illegal, then you know what to do. Don't just accuse, because it's easy to accuse. A lot of us get accused of a variety of things for political reasons. So I'm just simply saying we are where we are. That's why from the beginning I told you, if we could avoid getting into the party political thing, because we got a national problem.
But so anyway, how am I going to avoid getting into the party thing when over the years, you know where you and I stand?
Well, you could stick on over the years, or you could say, look.
The thing about it is you always, according to me, this is my opinion of you, Sweeney. Whenever you and I have a conversation about the politics area in St. Kitts Nevis, you always give me your honest opinion. You let me know where your position is at. And I let you know I don't support party politics. I support an individual, and by extension, I have to support the party. But I am saying to you now, Sweeney, everyone and the mother have acknowledged the mistakes of Team Unity since the government changed. We've seen what they were doing. So I want to know what you can see.
But you see, what I'm trying to say to you, okay, here you say, okay, Team Unity were making some mistake. Team Unity could say Douglas was making mistake. Douglas could say Pam was making mistake.
Yes, and let's hold all them accountable.
And that is not going to advance you because you are where you
are. But we're going to know how to fix the problem, Sweeney. We're going to know how to deal with the situation. If I come to your house to do some electrical work, and I come there, Sweeney, and I find that people were using wrong material in your house, could be a fire hazard, and I continue to use the same material, what that is of me? Shouldn't
the last sentence you've just made, that's the key. And I continue to. If I find that something was going wrong, I do an assessment. How can I change it? Can I change it? How can I change it to improve the situation? If I leave it and let it continue, I got to take ownership. I got to take ownership.
Sweeney, I want you to understand something. If I am wrong, I'll come back here and apologize on the pulpit, right? But I am of the view that somewhere along the line, there are members of the past 3 administrations prior to this administration that somewhere along the line is responsible for the mess that we are in today. And there are millions of dollars being spent to protect somebody or some people. I have a problem with that. You understand?
Guess what, DJ? It's okay to feel something. It's okay to have an opinion or something. But I could tell you exactly what you just said. There's no factual proof of it.
Whether it's fact or not, we have enough information. And again, if you listen to Dwyer's commentary this evening, if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to it. Because I have high expectation for Dwyer. Dwyer not going to come and do a commentary like that without having his facts, you know.
Dwyer might have information that he want to disclose or don't want to disclose for legal or whatever.
Okay.
And don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to defend.
I want to make one point clear before I play your progress song. I want you to make one point clear to you. Dwyer and Sam was 2 of the main individuals why we end up with a PLP party and by extension a Team Unity. I'm sure you know that, right?
Yeah, they were integral players. They were,
okay.
Yeah.
So, on that note, before I waste another minute on that, I want to hear your new song because since last week people are asking me, Marisha, send the song. I don't want to send the song until they hear it. So,
and it's really for progress.
And it's about progress. It's in your version of Sweeney. This is the Sweeney now for the country.
If I could just briefly intro it. It's really saying, look, this is our country. And if you love the country, you got to understand that we got to address the problems confronting us, okay, as a people. And that's why I said, look, it's a very simple recipe for progress. Put on the guns. Let's have fun and build together because we always have a plan, whether it's a Labour plan or a PAM plan or whatever it may be, but there's a plan. So I entitled this song Recipe for Progress.
All right, so let's drop this new track by the man King Sweeney, Recipe for Progress 2024.
Do we really love this nation? When we fight and kill just for fun, we show no love, no affection for neighbor. This paradise heading for disaster. Hear me, youths of our land, you can change it now. You're the leaders of the next generation. Social maturity, promote stability, for progress. This is my recipe. Hear me, put down the guns. We can have fun. We can build a strong and vibrant nation. To build our land, we have a plan. So awake the sleeping youths of the land.
The King Sweeney 2024. The recipe for progress.
Government and leaders of our nation, to our youths to give them recognition. When youths excel, promote our country. Let us unite, celebrate nationally. Hear me, welcome me the elect. King Collins I neglect. Why not national heroes as yet? Social maturity, honor instantly. There must be role models for you to see. Put down the guns, we can have fun. We can build a strong and vibrant nation. To build our land, we have a plan. So away the sleeping youths of the land. Businessmen and chamber of industry, lend a hand, the poor people cry. You pushing the poor, the deeper in poverty. The more we try, the price is crippling me. Hear me, you can join the plan, or we will take a stand and enforce rights control in the nation. Social maturity, stop being so greedy. Help us build a peaceful society. Good Lord, put down the guns. We can have fun. We can build a strong and vibrant nation. To build our land, we have a plan. So awake the sleeping youths of the land. We really love this nation. When we fight and kill just for fun, we show no love, no affection for neighbor. This paradise heading for disaster. Put on the guns, we can have fun. We can build a strong and vibrant nation. To build our land, we have a plan. So awake the sleeping youths of the land. Music by Rudy Val from Rudy Soca Studios.
Love the track, brother Sweeney. Love the track. Love the track.
Simple message, simple message. I mean, as I tell you, look, we, all sectors of the society, got to come together, do the things that would encourage young people to do right, because it's not just on young people alone. I mean, although they're the ones in the forefront of our concerns at this point in time, but the business sector has to come and do their part. And you recognize in the second verse, I made specific mention of people like Willett and Kim Collins, because these two guys have been stalwarts in our national development. And young people must see that when you make that contribution, that type of contribution, the nation stand behind you and the nation recognize you. I mean, even people like you, DJ, I mean, you and I disagree a lot of things, but look, you know what? Your contribution to our country should be acknowledged. There are so many of our forgotten heroes, as I would call them, that if you're not one of the major politicians, or you're not a Mr. This or Mr. That people don't pay attention. But we got to look, you look at somebody like Jazzy D. I mean, her contribution to, this morning I had the opportunity to tell her, look, the nation is indebted to her because she has been linking the youth with our history, with our culture, and filling the void. So I think we got to look at things a little bit wider as we go as a nation. We're like 41 years this year, and we really got to pay attention and recognize people who have made contribution in a variety of fields beyond politics, because the young people see them. And whether we like it or not, so more often than not, they become role models for good.
Well, Sweeney, it's funny you made this statement you just made, because I laughed to myself. I was going to mess with you. I was going to tell you, well, you said Willett should be recognized, or what happened to Marisha, but you come back and fix it.
Well, look, I look, because I'm talking to you, and because I'm talking, I wouldn't mention people like you and myself much, okay? I let other people do that. But people like, look, there was a point in time where I was at the embassy, and people wouldn't know about St. Kitts, but you mentioned Kim Collins. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? This was somebody who, and we were at the point where we were trying to diversify heavily into tourism, and the role that he played in terms of promoting the country and letting people understand that there's a place called St. Kitts, there's a place with talent, there's a place worthy of going to see and investing in. I mean, people like Kim Collins and I say El Comedo, Willett, those two should be recognized. It's long overdue. It's long overdue.
Well, Sweeney, what people don't realize, right, is that they think of just today because they have the CBI money to spend, where they can go to London or New York and wrap a couple of taxis, drive around with St. Kitts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the days when there was a PAM administration where SUP was in charge of the mission when I got down there. In those days when I'm bringing up the bands and the Calypsonian from St. Kitts Nevis, the person that was in my corner to assist with getting BWA sponsorship and stuff like that was my partner Monarch. No matter how you might hear him and I go back and forth, we've been together. Lord Kent was always there with me. The Lord Ranger, Miko, Ginger, Chubby, this and that. These guys, the Mighty Pat, I work with them. Every event is a 8.5 by 11 flyer that we walking around giving out on the subways, sticking up in laundromats, in restaurants, throughout. We send them to the UK, to Canada, to Miami. People does not understand the work that we used to do. Then after we get a little money, I develop into the 20 by 20 posters. Today, they're spending thousands, millions with these marketing people. They forget where they're coming from. Going on the parkway. I had to come up with $50,000 to put a truck on the parkway. They see the flag saying it is represented. But how did the money get there? 1 year, Ricky Skerritt offered to give me a little 20,000 towards the event. But the trick to that was, though he approved 20,000, I'm only getting 15. And the money not coming to me is going straight to the supplier of the sound system. These things was not cheap, and today people want to get down on me to continue going on the parkway. Who's going to put up the money for it? I got the skills, but who's going to put up the money for it?
Well, brother, it's difficult. It's difficult, and a lot of us we as Kittitians, we take a lot of things for granted. We only looking at the end result. We're not concerned very often about the kind of work that's put in, who is making the sacrifice. All that they're concerned about is that, oh, it's there. Look, you see the St. Kitts flag? You see St. Kitts represented? But there are people who behind the scenes, and that's why I keep saying that we are at a point in our development, 41 years, where we got to look outside of the political class. Look outside of the political class. Yes, the politicians have their role in the whole thing, but 41 years and all every single one of our national heroes are politicians, we need to take a second look. We need to take a second look. And there are people who have done so much in terms of advancing the country. And we don't need to look far. Look across Antigua. You see, Antigua deals with the top sportsmen and people of that nature, the cultural heroes. We need to adapt. Take a page out of that book and really recognize our heroes. And again, I'm going to stress Elkameda Willett, Kim Collins, what they have done for St. Kitts and Nevis in terms of advancing the names of the country at that embryonic stage of our development. Then we need to take a deep, deep look, because they are indeed icons and role models to our young people.
Well, Sweeney, adding to El Cominet and Kim Collins, we have a national anthem and a national flag that we fly high and sing loud. Those individuals must be recognized at the highest level as well, you know. Kenwick Georges and the young lady there, Miss Lois.
Right, and right now we're trying to do some research because, and I wouldn't disclose exactly who is involved here, but we're trying to do some research because we learned that a particular individual was the creator of the motto, "A Country Above Self," but was never recognized. And we're trying to see if we could get some documentary evidence of it.
Well, Sweeney, under your government too, they had this thing going where the first child that born on independence, they would get a recognition. The King Ayatollah, I was told, was born on the first child born on independence, then you all give it to a richer family because Ayatollah come from a poor family.
Was that
it was factual based on my conversation with Ayatollah. He's dead now, but I discussed it with him and he acknowledged that.
He was
the first child that born that independence morning. The information is there now.
I would hope that if you're going to select the first child born, you go by the official documentation.
But you all didn't do that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not in a position to say yes.
But you all was in power, Pam.
No, I'm not. See, DJ, you take some slants which that disturb me.
The facts.
Because you consider facts to be things that you believe.
Not what I believe, what I was told by individual. I did my investigation. And I spoke to Ayatollah confirmed it.
And it might be true, but I don't know.
Okay, so I'll let you know. I'm going to come back to you with the facts. I say to you now, I'm going to come back to you with it.
DJ, that's not even a point of controversy because that's either a yes or a no.
Okay.
They hospital records.
Okay. The other person that we need to recognize also is the King Elimat. How about that?
Elimat has made his contribution. They have acknowledged Elimat. What MSN? Is MSN is?
That's the highest order?
No, it's not the highest order. It's next to the highest order. Right? But Elimat, there's no question that Elimat has made a significant contribution to the development of culture and promoting St. Kitts.
Okay, somebody tell me Ayatollah born state today. Somebody just put in the chat Ayatollah born state today, so I guess we have to go into the records.
So that means you were wrong then?
Well, if I'm wrong, I could apologize, Sweeney. I'm just going by information, you know.
But you see, the point I'm trying to make to you, is that some things can simply be proven by the records. So the fact that somebody tell you something doesn't necessarily make it true, doesn't make it wrong, but something is proof.
Sweeney, I had a classmate that born on the 29th of February. But we debate every 2 years because they want to have a birthday every year, and they can't have a birthday every year because they were born on the 29th.
Suppose they tell you they're born the day after the 28th. Yeah? I mean, I would, as a matter of fact, I think the person could have 2 birthdays.
The partner, I'm just saying, we just have some debates in St. Kitts Nevis. And like I say all the time, you know, this show this program really is to open up minds, have conversations, and let's get to the better way of representing our country, you know?
Why didn't you give the person 2 birthdays?
No.
The person born the last day of February and they born the day before March.
They have a calendar for that? You know something? I'm gonna drop a track here for you, Sweeney, because sometime in talking to you, right? Like I said, I enjoy conversating with you, whether privately or publicly. But you got some illusion going on with you. So I'm gonna drop this one for you. Stand by.
Shout out.
You know. The King Shorty, my brother.
That they were free and slavery has lost its sting, but they're not foolish, they can see you're lying deep within. Slavery has not left our doors, not yet, I'm sure. We have got to fight the battle some more. The time has come for every man in the Caribbean. Forge one common destiny, designed to make our people free. We have got to stand up for the rights, to lead the lives we choose, to change and answer to refuse. If you think the battle is done, my brother, and you are riding an illusion, an illusion. You talk of progress, love and justice, peace and unity, all illusion. We have no hold on these our native islands. Our hands are tied, we don't control our actions. From there we forward together in a social endeavor, our goal. Social control, we slave no more, we slave no more. Only then we'll slave no more. We'll beg no more, we'll stoop no more. Only then we'll live forevermore, subjected from shore to shore, reflecting cowardice and shame against our ancestral name. I didn't know warriors left among us to rise and shine, no heroes left to rise up unto the shrine, no martyrs in our history for the youth to know. Scholars died to make us free, Puffy died to make us free, Gabby died to make us free. Must all these warriors die in vain while we go back to slavery once again? If you think the battle is done, my brother, and you are riding an illusion, an illusion. You talk of progress, love and justice, peace and unity, all illusion, all illusion. We have no hold on these our native islands. Our hands are tied, we don't control our actions. From the we forward together in a social endeavor, our goal. Social control, we slave no more, we slave no more. Only then we'll slave no more. We'll beg no more, we'll stoop no more. Only then we'll need no more. The struggle has only just begun. We've got to carry on, uniting these West Indian lands. May take us generations, but independent in this region don't mean one damn. If we can be independent as one, the economical policies are disheartening. The people's voices are ringing. We are tired of living a life of total subjection, told what to spend and what to keep. God knows sometimes we ain't even have enough to eat. If you think the battle is done, my brother, and you are riding an illusion, an illusion. You talk of progress, love and justice, peace and unity, all illusion, all illusion. We have no hold on these our native islands. Our hands are tied, we don't control our actions. From the we forward together in a social endeavor, our goal. Social control, we slave no more, we slave no more. Only then we'll slave no beg no more, we stoop no more. Only then we'll be.
Yeah, King Sweeney, that track is a very,
You
I
want me
just
to
love, lyrically, I just love that song.
Let me tell you something about that track. I remember when it came out first, we had a show in Keon. I think it was the second day it came out. And there was this lady coming down the road. She don't know the word, but she coming. And he lose and he lose I mean, that was a classic, right? But that was she was hearing, She lose but that's a master for a short shit, man.
Yeah. You know what I love about my online viewers? They're very intent listeners. And wherever I drop shot, they always pull me up. Whatever the situation is, I might have misspoke whether it was independence or statehood. But the bottom line was whatever gift or whatever recognition was supposed to be given that day, Ayatollah was the first baby born. We're gonna get down to the bottom of it. I'm gonna go further, I'm gonna look into it further. But
I'm saying it's easy to prove,
Yeah.
But by the first baby born, the criteria might have been the first baby born and you're using the official records at the hospital. Not if the person was born at home and
no, at the hospital.
Right. So I'm saying that should be something easy. That's a factual thing. Is either it is or it ain't. Right? So, but first time I heard that, but I mean, look, if it is, it is.
Yeah, it was a serious debate at that time. And Brother Sweeney, everybody got their differences and their political divide and stuff like that. Like I've said to you time and time again, whenever I get the opportunity, is that individual like you, I look forward to conversating. No matter where the debate ends, we always end it with respect and understanding, and that is what I love about having a conversation with people like you. So I want to play this track for you. Let me see if you could know its song coming up. I want to drop this track for you.
It sounds like Pat.
No.
Better world? Do we want a peaceful world? Do we want a world that's free from hatred, fear, and sorrow? Would we seize our wicked ways? Would we strive for what is right? Would we stand and shine a light, helping others come together, make life easier? For the poorer fella wanted love and understanding, needed peace and happiness in the world. People, we could live together. You for me and I for you. There's nothing that we cannot do if we live together, holding hands, loving each other, working together. People, let's try. What a miracle it would be if we could live in unity. Love and justice for everyone who lives under the sun. No more sorrow, no more pain, no more slavery, no more chain, no more human suffering. No more fighting, no more killing, no more warring. If only we could wanted love and understanding, needed peace and happiness in the world. People, we could live together. You for me and I for you. There's nothing that we cannot do if we live together, holding hands, loving each other, working together. People, let's try. Let us build a peaceful world. Let us build a united world. Let us build a world that's free. if only we could.
Yeah, brother Sweeney. So these lyrics is what we need to have in our society today to remind the
And that,
people. You know, we could come together, we could live together, we could have our differences, but why the guns? Why the knives? Why the machetes?
hey, my brother, that's called utopia. I mean, which really don't exist and won't exist, but we should keep striving to get closer to it. You know what I mean? Every day we should move in a positive direction, try to improve it. But it's a struggle because we're coming from a long way behind right now. And, you know, again, look, all of us, regardless of political persuasion or perspective or status in society, all of us need to join in the fight right now and try and see if we could turn things around. Guys, needed.
Well, you know, for me, my strength is musically. So I bring the music, you know, and hope that the lyrics hit a few people.
Yeah, you provide a forum too. I mean, you got the music. You provide a forum for people to discuss their ideas and their differences and what they think might be the best approach, and you playing your part. But everybody needs to play their little part, because at the end of the day, whether you're home or you're in the diaspora, it affects you. It affects you, and it could get worse, because I'm sure almost all of us in the diaspora have families at home. And if your family, if the country is so negatively impacted and it affects investment, you know, economic development in the country, then your family at home gonna be in a position where they turn more to you. So you got to put more into it for their sustenance and maintenance. And it's a whole big thing that we got to make an intervention. And we got to make it right now without just simply looking at the political gains. I mean, the politics can take care of itself, right? But we need to, as a people, whether you're home or whether you're abroad, this is the time where if it might just be picking up the phone and saying something to somebody, it just might be that. You know, it might just be expressing yourself to online or at some online platform. But everybody need to take a pause and pay attention and see if we could turn this thing around.
Well, I'm going to drop one more short shot for you now, because I want to give you credit for your art form, your contribution to the culture. And I want to know that you should know which song coming next now, Sweeney. Now, which song coming next? Let me say if you're really a disc jockey or you're just a politician. Which song coming next?
Short shot got so many of them. It could be When, it could be Power and Authority. It could be so many different things. Short shot got to,
think contribution. Just think contribution. What song should be coming next?
It could be Short Shot Independence song.
Man,
it could be.
Carnival does be hot and spicy when Calypso is there. Carnival does be bright and gay. Carnival does be sweet and jumpy when the bandmen appear. Everybody jumping away. They will jump and whine and call for more. Jumping up to the sweet tempo. All the while the officials making it. Trouble is the bandmen and the Calypsonian. Strutting after Carnival done. And yet still we keep on jamming. Every year we come out playing. Calypso and the bandman, east, west, north and south. From every part of this island, we make our contribution. Don't leave us out. Remember, we are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and dance. We're in the middle of the carnival, honey. We are the ones who keep up the bacchanal. We are the ones who make the jump, make you jump up and dance. Working to make this fun and spring. Greatest summer festivity, and yet we treated Calypsonians and band like dirt. All you we worked.
Big shots, it. We are the ones. Respect to the Calypsonians and the panmen. The panmen do the thing.
Setting the artists against each other while it go behind, frustrating the barriers, putting up one against each other in the competition. That is how they keep us apart. Through all the years we fought and fought, the little changes we have brought, we're still behind, way behind the time. Artists of other lands living fortune and fame, for Calypsonian and Panman only no shame. And yet still we keep on jamming, every year we come out playing. Calypsonian and the Panman, east, west, north and south, from every part of this island, we make our contribution. Don't leave us out. Remember, we are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and prance. We're in the middle of the carnival, honey. We are the ones keep up the bacchanal. We are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and prance. Working to make this fun and spring. Greatest summer festivity, and yet we treating Calypsonians and bandmen like dirt. All you we work. Hey! Queen of Carnival does be sitting high, looking down on we in splendor, wonder and awe. Canada and Europe is where she goes annually, cocktail parties and all. They will walk and preach and beg and bribe to give her these expensive price, while the Calypsonians get to battle around. Even worse, cause the men get nothing at all, and they work like hell to keep Carnival from falling. It's 21 years we jamming, it's 21 years we playing, when police will howl and chase us all over this land. It's 21 years of hardship, working until Jubilee morning, and suffering still. Remember, we are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and dance. We are in the middle of the carnival. We are the ones who keep up the bacchanal. We are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and dance. Working to make this fun and spring. The greatest summer festivity, and yet we treating Calypsonians and bandmen like dirt. We work.
Brother Sweeney, you got a young man online here, Brother Adrian Berry. Says hard to find a Kititian who loves this country more than Dr. Sweeney. I guess he don't know who Marisha is then.
Boy, look.
He never heard about DJ Marisha.
That's my village boy, and villagers, we got a special love for our country. Of course, for our village. I mean, we disagree with a lot of things, I mean, especially in politics, but when it comes to the country, we don't compromise. I mean, sure. Belong to us, all of us.
For sure. Like I said, that is why, like I said, I could have conversations with you, because no matter which avenue we go down, we always come back to that respect for each other and understanding. And I appreciate that, So, King, I appreciate you coming online. I cannot leave without dropping this track, because this is going to be a road march for the CBI. It's going to be the road march for the CBI. And then I'm going to give you a chance to do your closing. So you want to do your closing now or after the song?
Well, look, thanks for the opportunity to share a couple moments and, just have a chit chat. And I think you're providing a service to the country. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that you're providing a service to the country. And I would hope that the powers that be, the people that make decisions would look beyond the inner circle, and I consider the inner circle to be the homeland. You need to look beyond there because there are lots of petitions, lots of individuals who are contributing and have contributed significantly. And you need to pause and recognize these people. And I recommend you, DJ, I recommend you as one should be on the top of the list. You know, I recommend Jazzy D, I recommend a couple other people who have been contributing so consistently without recognition. But the point where we find ourselves at this point in time is, and just before I say that, let me just say this. All of us, wherever we are, whatever status we are in life, we got to look back at the country and thank the country for putting us in a position where we could benefit from what we have learned. And like, I remember just last week, I was talking to a guy and the guy said, what do you have Sinkers do for you? And I said, listen to me, Sinkers gave me an opportunity to take advantage of an opportunity. And that's all that the country could give you. So now the country needs us to do what we need to do in order to help the situation. And it might just be talking to somebody, doing what you do. And I thought that this year, I was out the Calypso arena for what, 40 years. And I said, look, if I got to write something, let me write something which, if it impacts just one, then it will be a difference. It might just be helping to save the life of one person. And that's important to me. So thanks for the opportunity and adopt the recipe for progress.
I love this song. I'll be jamming it. Definitely love it.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be winding it down shortly because, you know, we're going to be signing off at 8 p.m. sharp. But I have to drop this track by the Mighty Pat. This was a song that I spoke to Mighty Pat about performing for Sugar Mass last year after I found out that the amount of passport that was given to the investors basically exceeded the population of our beloved federation. I had to get the message out there. And though the local stations choose not to play the song and the judges, the night, the carnival committee, whoever did not see it fit, the reality is what it is. So take this one, coming from Mighty Pat and DJ Marisha, to you.
It's a good song.
Are you ready? This is Mighty Pat at the control tower. We're gonna chant them down. We're gonna push them down. We're gonna break them down. Get ready to sing. 1, 2, 3. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over slowly in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. St. Kitts Nevis, where I was born. There will be no place for me to hold on. We'll be sinking, we'll be drowning in deep water. There'll be no recover. Power hungry politicians slowly selling out the island to Tom Dick. Anybody who have money, now look what they make we. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis belongs to we. Foreigners taking over daily in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. The little job that we used to have, foreigners take it while me a starve. The little food that I used to sell, foreigners take him, even that as well. The jobs and businesses here in this country are owned by Arabs, Indians and Chinese. Gone to the beach, this white man tell me to get off of his property. I'm an alien in my country. St. Kitts Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over slowly in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over daily like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. DJ Marisha came and tell me. He said, Mighty, listen carefully. There'll be no place in our country left for are we. Watch and you will see. Foreigners will be Prime Minister. Foreigners will be Premier. Foreigners will be Governor. Cause of passport money, we're going back in slavery. I'm an alien in my country. Think it's Nevis, that shouldn't be. Foreigners taking over daily in my country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. If you are proud to be a Kittitian, if you are proud to be a Nevisian, then take your flag up in your hand and wave it in any direction. This land belong to you and me. So stand up with pride and dignity and tell them foreigners bully. They ain't gon' chase me out of we country. Zibo, I'm an alien in my country. Think it's Nevis should belong to we. Foreigners taking over daily in our country. Lord have mercy. I'm an alien in my country. Government pretend that they can't see. Foreigners taking over slowly like a bulldozer. They gon' crush me. Come on. Let me see you say. Let me hear you say. Let me see you turn. Wave. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Don't quit them. Put up.
So King Sweeney, after that masterpiece that I went out there and bring out, it was rejected at Sugar Mass.
But don't get discouraged here. Look, one of the things some of us who went through years of competition would tell you, you don't allow results to determine how you truly feel about the culture. Because there's some people who got different reasons why they do things. I know I've been in Calypso finals at home and while I'm singing steel band playing. I mean, it's just part of the system, parts of the system. So whatever you're doing, I mean, once you convince yourself that you're doing the right thing and it's something you love doing, you keep on doing it.
No, but the point I try to make is that they try to bury that song, but you realize that the lawsuit brought out the information either way.
Oh boy, look, I'm afraid Carl, you see. I afraid no, but seriously, just my last comment on that. I am observing and listening carefully because I think the lawsuits have potential to reveal a lot of things. What it will reveal, I don't know, okay? But it has potential and it might be education for nationals to get a better understanding of what takes place on a daily basis or what took place or what will take place. I don't know. We just got to get the information, digest it, and determine how we want to deal with it. But I think it has potential.
All right, Brother Sweeney. Thanks. I'm going to drop a few ads here and get out of here. Thanks again for coming out.
Hey,
and continue to keep the music going. Continue to write stuff. You know, don't just come with one new track and done. Let's keep the flavor going, you know?
You know, my focus is right really now on doing a lot of different things and educating the youth, making sure that we, whatever little we got. But I mean, I just decided to take a pause and work a little bit with Woody Val and put out that track and so on.
Yeah. But music does a lot. People don't realize that kids listen to the music.
It does. And the youngest
kid listen to music. So the music helps a lot.
I went back and decided to make a contribution to the youth Calypso, in particular, in terms of sponsoring certain things and so on, because I think they needed the motivation and the extra encouragement. But if I could do something, I keep my pen close. Take it easy.
All right, sir.
All right, take it easy, my man.
Cabos, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabos Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabos Fungi and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabos and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabos, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over. You got the food all over.
Yes, that's the man King Cowboy there in Fountain Village, Nevis. Don't forget that Cowboy also does deliver there in Nevis and on the island of St. Kitts. Just let him know DJ Marisha sent you. Sister Carmen of Carmen Caterers, come in.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice special local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and sundaes. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
For sure.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marisha's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marisha. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marisha, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Marisha. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right. Every Wednesday evening right here. And this program, 6 to 8 p.m. Just check me on my Facebook Live, bringing you the updated information that is affecting our beloved federation, whether home, locally, regionally, or internationally. You catch it right here. I'm DJ Marisha, and I'm telling you, this evening I'm so appreciative of my cousin Gloria Hutchinson for allowing me the opportunity to broadcast here from her location here, the Smart Fit clothing store right here on Central Street, Bastia St. Kitts, right next to the Skelec. Come on out and check Gloria and, you know, let her know DJ Marisha sent you. I also want to thank the man, brother Ricky Scarborough, Ricky Clark, for hanging in and giving me the opportunity to wrap it up in a bit. Want to big up the man there, brother Austin Williams over there, and our sister Laura Williams there. Don't forget, Laura has a store as well in the TDC Mall there right off 4th Street. Want to touch my brother there, the man Warren Bratcher over there in the Central Street area as well. The BCA. Check him out. That's in what DJ Marisha sent you. The man Michael Clark over there at the Jamrock restaurant in Frigate Bay. And brother Marshall's right up the hill. Let them know DJ Marisha sent you. Want to touch Sister Gwyneth Marisha. Good evening. How you doing? Hope all is well. The man Ivor Henry, how are you doing? Hope all is well with you. Well, we're going to drop the unofficial anthem of the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis and call it a night. So before I do that, let me say good evening to my godmother there, Sister Joyce Bedford, and Brother Bedford. Hope you all are doing well. I want to say good evening to Sister Charlene and Iris. Hope you guys are doing well. You folks over there in the UK, as we ride around the 8 o'clock hour, I'm out of time. So I'm going to drop the unofficial anthem and I'll see you back here next week, same place, same time. This one is called Arise by the late, great The King Arrow. Remember, the music is sweet, but please take a listen to the lyrics. The lyrics will make you understand love of country and how much love I have for this beloved federation.
Your country dying and never lend a helping hand. Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly, disregarding our self-sufficiency? Maladministration wrecking all I know. I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together, hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Oh yeah.
Would you assist building a wall so massive or a bridge? Don't care how small, as one tends to divide our people, the other unite us all. Unambitious men just cannot be a part of this community. Displaying selfishness, a total lack of interest. No, I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together, hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country
Yes, that's the song of the late great the man King Arrow. That one is called Arise. I want to say good evening to my boy, the man Scatter, Mr. Powell there, and the good people there at the Island Purified Water. Thanking the folks to keeping the DJ hydrated when he's in the Federation. His love every time. Good evening to Uncle Joseph Emmanuel. Hope all is well with you. Until such time, my good people, I bid you good night and look forward to seeing you next week, same place, same time.